of me this morning. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm just trying to log in here. Restream. Okay. All right. Just gonna make sure all my volume's off here. I want to see my chat. Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday. It gets really hot in the office here, so what I tend to do is sweat it out. But today I've got my fan going, so if you all excuse me, let me see what happens here. Okay, sure. Don't want that one. Yeah, there we go. So if you all hear my fan, let me know. There should be light music going on in the background, which is here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it. I won't try too hard to figure it out, but who? Yeah, so that's the girl. She's on. She's playing, and the network's looking pretty janky, isn't it? Wow, that's pretty bad. So what I'll do, I'll just go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and put the chat over top here. David Goolage, good morning. Glad to have you with us this morning. I really enjoyed chatting with you last time, so that was super fun. I'm gonna get rid of this. That's not important. So yeah, got some notes we're gonna run through today. I always start these live streams like super frazzled and hectic. In fact, I'm actually going to, no, I'm not. We're gonna leave it how it is. I start these live stream frazzled and hectic. I'm never ready. So I think something I might start to do is maybe get everything set up on Monday before I leave work, so that when I come in Tuesday, everything's good to go. Hey, David, I got a question for you. Can you hear the background music? We're trying to figure that out really quick before we get started here. I see it. It's going to be a little annoying because I got the chat up here, which I guess that's not super frustrating, but David says no music. All right, I'm going to try. Let's see if we can't try this one more time. There we go. I figured it out. All right, got the girl going. David, can you hear the music now? What I should have done is I should have some headphones plugged in, but I'm just going to rely on you guys. Or another thing I can do is this. 30 seconds. How are you guys doing? Give me some news. Everybody doing well? Again, it's Tuesday, second day of the week. I always think of, all right, David says the music's working now. That's good. I think that Tuesday, second day of the week. Music's loud. Let's turn that down. We're gonna go about 50 there. Sorry, I'm using this to monitor. It's funny. Here's a thought before we even get started with thoughts. Let me make sure the music goes down. Okay. I might turn it down a little bit more, but I think that's good for now. Yeah, here's the thought about Tuesdays, man. It's the only day of the week that I feel like no one really cares about Tuesdays. And it sounds weird, but like Monday is, I got the Mondays, right? Everyone hates Monday. Wednesday is hump day. You're halfway through the week, you get excited. Thursday is like the Friday of Fridays. Obviously, you have Friday, last day of the work week. Everyone's excited. Saturday is Saturday. Sunday, relaxing. Some people get the Sunday scaries, right? Tuesday's just kind of like that. No one likes Tuesdays. Guess what, Tuesday? I like Tuesdays. So there's that. All right. Got 3 people viewing. Thank you. So glad to have you here. Basically, the way these live streams work is I take just thoughts and ideas down throughout the week of notes and various things. And I take them down in an app called Notion, which I would love to talk more about Notion if you guys are interested. It's like my second brain in my computer. Really cool. But then we meet on Tuesdays and we just go through the thoughts and ideas that I have. It sounds very egotistical, and I'm sure it is, but I don't know. I have these thoughts, and it's kind of cathartic for me. Is that the right word? Maybe. I don't think that's the right word, but it's nice for me to relay those thoughts out into the world and hear your thoughts and opinions. And I don't know, it's a bit like therapy. So I'm going to lock my door really quick so no one barges in, and we're just going to hop right into thoughts of the week. Cool, we got about 45 minutes, which is perfect. All right, so again, hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. If you're listening on the podcast afterwards, thank you so much for listening. Please leave a rate and review and subscribe. And I don't know how that works. If you're watching this on the YouTube live stream channel afterwards, hello, we missed you. Thank you for watching. I think I've decided to go live on the main channel so more people know about the live, and then repost the recording to the live stream channel. That might change the more live stream subs we get, but for now, this is what we're doing. So it's good to have you. Thank you for listening and watching. And if you're live, what's up? All right, another thing I changed in YouTube is I think the delay between when I say something and when you guys hear it is less, so that I can really have more back and forth between us and it's not so delayed, so that's good. So if you're watching, say hey, say where you're watching from, say who you are. All I see is a little counter of how many people are watching, so it's good for people like my dude David to just give a little shout out, say hey. And I'll try to include you all in the discussion as we're going through. So, all right, let's get it. To start with the obvious, I rearranged the office here. Still figuring it out a little bit. I like things really symmetrical, and I can see on this video that this is not in the middle of the shot, and that's gonna bug me forever, but it's okay. We're good, we're getting through it. I like this setup better as far as my office goes. As far as the live stream goes, you guys will have to tell me if you like this. I think for the videos that I'm going to be recording for Finisher Secrets and my main channel and stuff, I like this setup as well. So yeah, that's the obvious there. All right, next thing. I kind of mentioned this last live stream, and a couple of you have told me you've purchased the book, Do More Better by Tim Challies. I've started listening to the audiobook again. It's weird. I can't say enough about this book. The ideas are very simple, and I'll sort of just give you a quick summary. Tim Challies, he's like, hey, if you want to be productive and do more better, you've got to set your priorities first. And then you can focus on the tools you use to put things in the right place where they belong. And once you do that, you're focused on the right things, and then you also have a home for everything that you do, whether that is calendar or events, tasks or like to-do lists, and then information. So those are like the three forms of input that we get. And as long as we're putting them in the right place, we're structured, we're able to focus on our priorities. And that's the whole book. I mean, it's like 100 pages, 102, I don't know, a little over 100. But what I've found is it's kind of like the Bible of productivity. I want to keep coming back to it because I just need to be reminded. You can get caught up so much in how to take better notes or how to be more productive with your day or whatever it might be. And these are all great tools, but if you don't have that sort of foundation on why you're doing it and what your priorities are, it doesn't really do anything for anyone. So you're just kind of turning the wheels. So that's what I'm trying to do, go back to it. And it's something that I have been, and honestly, I hope not, but probably always will be fighting, trying to stick to priorities and things like that. So great book. I actually talked with Maria last night. Maria, if you're watching, hi, I love you. You said you would watch, and you said I should tell everyone how great of a wife you are. And it's true, and I love you, and you're great. We were talking last night. I'm feeling a little anxious and overwhelmed with some things right now, and one of the things that came up in our discussion was the idea of I've really been enjoying taking walks through the woods with my dog and listening to podcasts, listening to nature, music, audiobooks, and just taking that time to exercise a little, but also just think. And Henry David Thoreau was a huge, believer in taking walks through woods for hours on end. Apparently, he would walk for like 6-8 hours through the woods, which is really weird. So that's super cool. Got a comment from David, watching from Orange Beach, Alabama. Cool. Also, I would definitely like to learn more about Notion. I'm constantly looking for a better note-taking system. Yeah, David. So Notion, I think it's notion.io. It's free. There are paid versions, but if you have like a school email, like I use vt.edu, my school email, you get like the lowest priced tier for free. But there's also just a free tier in general. Some people I would recommend watching on YouTube, Ali Abdaal. He does some really cool stuff with Notion. Thomas Frank, I think is his name, does some cool stuff with Notion. So basically, it's just like, it's an interweb for everything that you have. So there's calendars, there's notes. It's like a website for all your information. It's really cool. And I think it could maybe be overwhelming. And I think the best thing to do is just dive in and play around with it, watch some other YouTubers and see some of the setups they have in Notion. But Evernote, Bear, Apple Notes, there's a ton of different, Yaswo, what up? Hope I'm saying your name right. There's a ton of different note-taking apps. And again, like going back to Do More Better by Tim Challies, like this is the information section where you store information. Notion, bar none, the best I've ever used. It's perfect. Well, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's awesome. So yeah, I love it. So for those of you watching, notion.io, check it out. Trust me. I'd love to also, if you just want to send over some of your setups and stuff, if you do get in there, I'm constantly looking for different ways of being productive or whatever with what I'm doing. And in fact, something I could do, maybe I'll make a note to do this next time. I'll show my Notion setup. I think that'd be pretty cool. I could just share my screen with you guys and kind of walk you through how I use Notion. It's basically where I store everything. So anyway, yeah, so the ideas of, walking through the woods. Thank you for that, David. Check it out. Walking through the woods for hours on end, obviously he didn't have other priorities. So there's that. I don't know. For me, I'd love to take 8 hours out of my day and walk through the woods, but other things to do. But they're really cool. They're valuable. I've really been enjoying it. It's become something that I feel I need in a way. So, Yasuo says, I got to your channel because of bullet journaling. I was into it earlier this year. Yeah, I appreciate you for sticking around beyond the bullet journaling. I was talking to my new friend, Foysel, and he said, like, it's weird, like, you have over 8,000 subscribers, but your view count's not that impressive. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I made a couple bullet journaling videos, a ton of people subscribed to me, and then I haven't made any other bullet journaling videos, so they don't watch or unsubscribe whenever I post something. So, yeah, I appreciate you for sticking around, and I hope you do. Yeah, it's been funny. I always tell people, like, the bullet journal, I think I made 2, and the first one was called, like, a productivity bullet journal. So the idea was, it's not creative, it's not crazy, it's never going to change, it is what it is, period. This is the only one I'll ever use. I hope you can take some value from it. And then people kept asking me to make more bullet journal videos, and I'm like, the whole point of the first video was to never have to make one again. So it's a me problem, I know, and I'm not complaining about people leaving. That's the thing with YouTube. You subscribe to a certain type of content. If you don't get that content, you leave or whatever. So not a big deal. But yeah, anyway, so next, if you want to be productive in anything in your life, you first have to start with priorities. Video ideas. If you want to be productive, watch this first. Yeah, so that goes back to what I was saying with the Do More Better book. The idea of, if you want to be productive, you have to decide what you want to be productive in first, and then set that hard priority. Because if you're just saying, I want to be productive, it's like, okay, well, you can be productive in being unproductive. So just being productive for productive's sake doesn't really help anyone. So yeah, moving on. Currently, I'm happy with personal brand content. Yeah, I really enjoy the live streams. There's only a couple of you commenting right now, and I hope more people will join in, because I like the back and forth. I love this part. I've been doing vlogs every now and then, which I send off to an editor, Stephanie. She's awesome, which makes it easy on me. I just film the moment and send it to her. She edits, great edits, and then post that on the vlog channel, which is easy. Finisher Secrets, we posted our first video for that 2 weeks ago, I think, which did really well. It was cool working with a team on a video, on a YouTube video, so that was cool. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm happy with the personal brand side of, the content I'm creating, and that was just something I wanted to point out. I haven't been taking as many thoughts and notes and ideas, so I'm trying to make it more of a habit to every day be writing down thoughts and ideas for these live streams, because if I come to this live stream and I don't have anything to share, then it's going to be real boring. So I checked out Naval. I was intrigued but grounded. Yeah, so Naval is a podcasting guy, I think. Learned about him from Craig Adams. Craig Adams loves him. He's a really smart individual, Naval, Naval. I don't think he really went... The episode I listened to on his podcast, he was sort of talking with another person. They were talking, big picture, like physics and math and the world and gravity and all this big, huge, sciencey math, physics, chemistry, whatever. And it was really cool getting to hear them talk on this super high level. But it's just, I say I was grounded in listening because, as a as a Christian, every point of my thinking, the basis of all my thinking is in God and Jesus, and how those sciences and those efforts of humanity fit into that. So, listening, it's funny, man. Like, I don't try to put down science, but it's funny when people work so hard to figure out life. And then for me, in my belief, it's already figured out. What matters is figured out. So there's a part of me that does enjoy that stuff because, it's learning. It's learning more about something I don't know, that I find interest in. But at the same time, I'm grounded knowing that if I don't know the answer, it's okay. I don't think we're supposed to know everything. So those are the thoughts I had on Naval. I don't know how much more I'm going to listen to him. Probably a little bit. He doesn't really release content all that often, as far as I can tell. So, all right. So something I think David asked about last week was for me to share my morning routine, which, we'll go ahead and do that. It's changed recently because of all this, like the live streams, the content I'm doing for Finisher Secrets, obviously having a baby, trying to exercise, trying to be here early at AgenaCare so I can leave a little bit early because Lena goes to sleep earlier, and if I left at 5, I would basically get maybe 30 minutes with her before she goes to sleep. So 30 minutes a day, which I know there are people out there who probably don't even see their kid throughout the week because of their working, and they're working hard, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, in my situation, I try to get here a little earlier so I can leave a little earlier. I'm so parched. So the morning routine has changed. Basically, it's kind of simple. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I try to get up at 6 and work out for about 30 minutes. Now, whether that's running takes a little less time because I'm going faster and I get worn out faster. Walking takes a little more time. Basically, I try to do about 30 minutes of exercise. Thanks Apple for the 30-minute exercise ring. So that's what I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When I get back, I get ready, shower, and it's still pretty early, 6:30, 6:45. So I'll read my Bible or a book. I'll drink my coffee, and spend a little time with the family, and then try to leave for work about 7:45 to get here at 8. So I'm still here about an hour before other people get here, to get that early work done so I can leave early. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm early to work. So today, the goal is to get here by 7:15 so that I can go live at 7:30. And then on Thursdays, those are the days that I've set aside to do Finisher Secret videos. So currently we're just doing one every 2 weeks. So every other Thursday I'm filming. If we're not shooting a Finisher Secret video on Thursday morning, then I still come in early and try to do sort of like admin stuff for the brand, whether it's checking on stats, analytics, maybe planning more content, writing a script, something like that. Just something that is dedicated to this personal brand stuff instead of AgenaCare. And then again, around 8, I get into AgenaCare work. So today though, on live stream days, I usually go till 8:30 live streaming and then get into AgenaCare work. So when I start doing AgenaCare work, which by the way, AgenaCare work meaning my full-time job, AgenaCare is who I work for. I start by prepping for the day in my Finisher's journal. I look at my digital calendar, see where everyone else in the office is going to be throughout the day. If I have any meetings, I put the meetings down in the calendar section for the day. And then I write down my most important task, and then tasks cascading based on their priority. Ultimate goal is just to get that one task done. If I can get that done, then it's a successful day, which feels good. So usually that's a bit bigger task and one that's more time sensitive and important. So there's JC coming in. yeah, so that's what I do, and taking notes and sort of just kind of dive into either that to-do list or any sort of housekeeping things I need to do for the company, for myself, and the marketing work that we're doing here. So, yep, and then around 9 is when people sort of like roll in. They've been rolling in a little bit earlier since we came to the new office, which is nice, but that's sort of when I open my door. Meetings are usually starting around 9:30. Per day. That's sort of our earliest meeting. Today, though, I do have a meeting at 9 with Amanda to watch. Don't forget, you got to be on the meeting too. All right, so that's my morning routine, basically. Weekends are just kind of wake up when the family wakes up, make coffee, stuff like that. Is our stream not doing too hot? Says my network connection's not good. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep rolling. If you guys, if the network connection's not good, things are lagging, I apologize. Kind of working with what I got here, so we will, it's gonna be reposted on the live stream channel. So, all right. Next thought. I know what it takes to be less distracted socially. Just read or listen to Cal Newport. Some digital minimalism to figure that out. I just don't know if I'm fully ready to commit pushing every conversation to an office hour. Yeah, so I've been listening to Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. It's a good book, and I will recommend it. I will put it on my website as a recommended read, because I think there's a lot of value in getting away from this. It's a scale, you can throw your phone out the window, or you can just turn off notifications for Instagram, right? Like there are things you can do to spend less time on your phone and more time in the world with people. I think in digital minimalism, Cal Newport takes it to an extreme where, I don't know, he even talks about having office hours for people. And I think I get it, right? Like if you're always letting people text you, call you, email you, message you on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, like it's a lot and it's distracting you from productive work and maybe even productive leisure time. But I mean, he even talks about like holding office hours for social conversations. And I just think it's weird to be like, hey mom, you can call me, sure, and I'd be glad to talk, but please only call me between the hours of 3 and 4 p.m. every day, and that's kind of what it teeters on in that book. Obviously, you can do that to be more productive, and maybe his point is like, this is the idea, right? But it's a little much, and maybe I'm kind of missing the point. So, weird. All right, David Gulich says, my wife and I have a 2-month-old. Congrats. Oh, that's so fun. We were just looking at videos of Lena last night, I think, when she was really little. And then we quickly went to yesterday when we took a picture of her and compared, and it's just insane, dude. 2 to 10 months, so much different. But congrats on the 2-month-old. Hope you're getting sleep. That's always the joke. We didn't get much sleep, but it didn't really bother us. It was a joy to get up at 11, 2, 4, at night to see her and feed her, and man, fun times. My wife and I have a 2-month-old, and I have been really struggling with developing a good morning routine, which makes me feel very unproductive. Yeah, David. I think, something too, I think Maria and I talked about yesterday in our discussion that we had is you gotta give yourself a little bit of grace. I think keep trying and doing the best you can to have a morning routine. But it's hard. You have a 2-month-old, right? And that's something Maria and I were talking about with exercise. Yeah, we would love to work out every day, and we should. But trying really hard to make that work and taking away from other stuff. Just give yourself some grace. And I know you probably feel unproductive, but that kind of comes with having a kid. Things get hectic. As much as you would like to plan, things don't go to plan. I would say, for me, being an introvert, I do get a lot of like energy from being alone and working on projects and having productive leisure, as Cal Newport calls it in digital minimalism. You know, I don't know, setting that time aside as much as you can, but also being aware that you might not get it. I try. That's probably a big sin of mine, is I try really hard to get it, and it's very important to me, and it's something I'm working through, struggling with, and is causing me some anxiety. So good luck. You'll figure it out. And the older your kid gets, you'll continue to have problems in various ways and sorts. I'm assuming. I'm talking right now like I'm an expert, and I only have a 10-month-old, so I'm only a little bit ahead of you. But just give yourself grace. That's something Maria brought up last night. It's such a good point, and something I'm going to be thinking about more as I'm planning my days and things like that. Yasuo says, how'd you start your YouTube channel? What was your inspiration? So I started my first YouTube channel in 2009. It was my music channel, and that was just like, I remember at first I was posting videos of myself covering songs on Facebook, and my parents were like, don't show your face. That was like a big thing. So I have these videos of like just like my chest playing guitar and singing. And then I started YouTube just because like I saw that's how I learned to play guitar, and I saw people like getting views and doing well. This was before monetization was even a thing, I think. And so I started that channel in 2009, and that was the only channel I really had until I got about mid-college, to 2014 maybe. And then I started, I fell in love with vloggers, Ben Brown, Fun for Louie, Casey Neistat, obviously. So I started various vlogging channels, which I've talked about this before. It was a mistake how I did YouTube in the past, and I think I have a good system now, which is good. The current channel that I'm streaming to now, I found out about minimalism. It's funny, I think I watched the Minimalist documentary, and I was kind of like, that's crazy. But then I found the director, Matt D'Avella, who created the film, his YouTube channel, and I was like, hey, this guy's cool. And so I really took a hard look at minimalism and started wondering if it's a lifestyle that I could follow. And if you watch the first few videos on this channel, you'll see they were minimalism videos. That's what I started this new channel based on, is like, hey, I'm going to start getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Feel free to follow along, and you can too, or just live vicariously through me getting rid of stuff. So it turned into, minimalism, productivity. I was into, I'm an entrepreneur. I had a couple businesses, so started talking about that a little bit as well. And then, found out about bullet journaling, made a couple videos, those blew up. And that's kind of where we are today. So inspiration was a few different things, and I've been on YouTube for a while. I also watched the minimalism documentary, and I'm also following Matt. Yeah, Matt's great. Everyone follows Matt. If you don't, what are you doing? Matt D'Avella. Interesting guy. Pretty cool. I think he does minimalism well. So, yeah, that's it. That's how I did that. So, all right, next. Every time I go on a walk or a run, I think to yeah. So here's the funny thing. Being healthy is just, it's weird. It's hard. I think everyone knows that, but it's funny. I just wrote this down because I was on a walk and this happened. Every time I go on a walk or a run, I think to myself, man, this is great. It's helping me, but I need to eat better. That would only help more. But whenever I'm about to eat a donut, right, I think to myself like, it's okay. I'll have another one because I'm going to go on a run tomorrow. So it's like this stupid back and forth. Like in the moment, I'm eating unhealthy because I'll work out. And then when I'm working out, I'm like, I need to eat healthier. Yes, whoa, yeah, man. He said, thanks for answering. Of course. For sure. Interested if you have a channel. I mean, you do, obviously. Do you post to your YouTube channel? What is it about? So I thought that was funny. Running out of notes here. I said earlier I haven't been writing as many notes down, so I need to get on that for next week. All right, and this is something I learned. Yaswo has to go to sleep now. Yaswo, I'll do live streams every Tuesday at this time. So I'd love to have you join back up. I hope you have a great night sleep. I'm guessing you're quite a bit ahead of us. It's 7:30 a.m. here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you next time, bud. So in Cal Newport's Digital Minimalism, it talks about, if you're getting rid of things that take up your time and, give you that little dopamine hit, and are addicting, I guess it's kind of like with everything, addiction wise. Like if you're going to quit something, it leaves a void in your life. So you feel you're very much missing out on something. So I wrote, it's important to not just quit something cold turkey, because then the time spent doing that task is filled with nothingness and it feels you're lacking something. It's better to begin, so first step, with finding an activity to fill the void before quitting that unwanted habit or task. TRN, hey, good to have you back. Hope you're doing well. She says, hey everyone, in the chat. So this is something, I'm trying to, I think it's something a lot of people don't think of when they're trying to quit a bad habit, or maybe they're trying to create a habit or something. Maybe it's just more about quitting. So like quitting social media. If you spend, your phone will tell you, if you spend 3 hours a day on social media and then you just stop using social media, that's 3 hours of your day where you're like, what am I doing? And it feels weird, it feels bad, it doesn't feel good, probably. It might feel a little good, but I get so parched on these. So much talking. So that's something to think about. I don't know, wanted to share with you all. So for instance, if you are trying to be on social media less, you need to say like, first let me find something that's going to replace that time before you quit it, so that it's not a void in your life. It's filled immediately with something. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll develop more thoughts about that. I don't really have any specific thoughts right now, but I thought that was a good talking point. Look up the book, The Revenge of the Analog. Yeah, in Digital Minimalism, he talks about a book called The Revenge of the Analog. And I guess, from what I understand, really quick before I hop into this, David says, I got into minimalism almost 10 years ago, but I've never heard about a documentary. I started my journey with a podcast called The Minimalists. Yeah, David. So that's really funny you haven't heard of the documentary, because it's about the minimalists. It's on Netflix. Directed by Matt Diavella. It follows the minimalists around on like a book tour or something, and they sort of just talk through the ideas. They interview all these other minimalists and how they're living their lives and the freedoms they've found and stuff. Documentary is okay. So yeah, the minimalists they have a pretty interesting story. I listened to the book, I think their first book that they wrote, audiobook, on my walks. And just hearing they both had big time jobs making tons of money, and they just hated their lives, and how they sort of broke everything down and only have what brings them joy, or whatever the cliches are with minimalism. But yeah, watch the documentary is called Minimalism, I think, and it's on Netflix. I'm sure you would enjoy it if you listen to The Minimalists. Tierin says, I'm trying to read more instead of scrolling Twitter. And then she says, I like Matt's YouTube channel, but didn't know they had a documentary. Yeah, check it out. It's on there. I think he just made another one. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, he's got 2 documentaries under his belt now, which is pretty cool. On Netflix, of all places, which is neat. Yeah, good luck with Twitter. I've tried Twitter so many times. Doesn't do it for me. Normal social media doesn't do it for me. I think I can get sucked into Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok or whatever, but I'm just not that addicted to it, I don't think. YouTube is the one for me, man. Maria got mad at me the other night. I'm just sitting there scrolling through YouTube. Not even watch, like, you know how YouTube will autoplay? I'll just like watch the autoplays in silence. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So weird. I mean, they got me. They got me on the algorithm. They know what I like to see, so. Yeah, reading more. It's awesome. I have a hard time reading. Audiobooks are my jam, but I also realize I'm missing a ton with audiobooks because I'm usually doing something else. Even just walking, I'm like, especially with the dog, I'm like, don't eat that. No, don't poop there. You know, and I'm not fully engaged. So, a little bit more time here. Yeah, so the book Revenge of the Analog, Cal Newport talks about it in Digital Minimalism. I think it just talks about how people realized how much time, you know, the internet was taking from people. And so the example he gives is there's a coffee shop called Snakes and Lattes. And the idea is you go in, I think it's like $5 to even enter. The line's usually wrapped around the building. You go in, you drink coffee, and then they've got board games like galore. And they even have people who will they're like sommeliers of board games. Like they'll come up and you'll be like, I'd like something a little challenging. And they'll be like, let's look at our collection. Like they'll help you find a good board game for you and your friends. And I don't think you're allowed to use your phone or something like that. But the idea of like this sort of reaction to the digital world being, you know, all analog, and I think the revenge of the analog. So yeah, I kind of want to look into it just because I think it'd be interesting to hear about stories like that, like a coffee shop or other businesses that have risen up in the shadow of the digital age. I think it'd be an interesting listen. Plan my focus modes on iOS 15. Yeah, so many of you may know, but I am a huge tech nerd, most specifically Apple products. iMac, MacBook, iPhone, Apple Watch. You know, like I love it. They got me in the ecosystem. It literally makes my life so much more productive and convenient, and I know that I'm trapped, but I don't mind. I love it. iOS 15 will be coming out this fall. They released the public beta, so if you have an iPhone or any other Apple products, you can get it right now. It'll be a little buggy, but it's been pretty great on my iPhone 12 mini and my Macs. Focus mode. So you have Do Not Disturb mode. TRN says iOS for the win. Yes. You have Do Not Disturb mode, which is a thing you can put on your phone and it won't like notify you of things. And they sort of like quadrupled down on the idea of Do Not Disturb mode, which is something I've been wanting forever. I can never figure out why there's never been an away message for iMessage. Like I want to put my phone down when I get home from work, but there's always like, but what if someone texts me? They're just going to be like, man, he's not answering me, or maybe something's wrong, you know? So I'm like, why can't you just set an away message? So when someone texts you, it's like, hey, I'm spending time with my family. If you really need me, call me and my phone will ring or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, they did something kind of like that, but even better with focus mode. So you can set different modes that your phone is in. So for instance, it takes a little bit of setting up, but I did a work mode. So when I enter in the vicinity of my office, work mode turns on. The apps displayed on my home screen change to only apps that I use for work. So no YouTube, no games, literally nothing that could distract me from doing my work. And that's all I see. Notifications from any app that's not work related gets silenced. So they'll show your home screen like all as one notification that you can click and expand, but it won't notify you. Your phone won't light up. You won't get a ding. My Apple Watch won't buzz, unless it's a contact that I've said contact me while I'm at work. So people here at the office, they text me, I get those. If they call me, I get those. If Maria texts or calls, I get those. My family. So you can set who you want to distract you or contact you. And it's all customizable. Like, it's amazing. So when I leave, like literally if I go home for lunch, work mode turns off and my regular mode turns on. Now, I want to set up other modes, so like leisure mode, which is like all the games show up, YouTube shows up, Instagram, I usually just do for fun on my phone. And then I want to have family mode or home mode where, you know, when I turn it on or at a certain time of day, it turns on and I get no work notifications, not even leisure notifications. It's like, hey, if my family needs to call me, they can get to me, everything else, you know, and that way I can keep my phone in my pocket or over on a table and really not have to worry about missing anything. And as I stated when I started this, it will say like, hey, Spencer is in home mode, you know, if you really need to get through to him, click here, you know, and that deters people from being like, hey, could you work on this document right now at 8 p.m.? And it's like, you know what? I can just tell him to do that tomorrow when I get to work, kind of thing. So it is a game changer, TRN, which is what you just said, and I'm really excited about it. It does take a little bit of setting up, and I need to carve out some time, but it's awesome. I'm excited to explore that and have that at my disposal. I had it on yesterday, which was the first day here at work, and it was awesome. Like, I only got the stuff I need for work, which was neat. And then when I got home from work, I had all these notifications from stuff that doesn't really matter, but I could catch up on it. So super, super cool. All right, we got about 9 minutes left here. Let's see. You know, since we have, you know, just a short amount of time more, anyone watching, commenting, if you want to ask any questions or maybe give something you've been thinking about recently, we could just have a little discussion. While you're catching up to the video, I'll go through one more of these and then we'll just kind of chat. We'll just talk. So, you know, David, TRN, whoever else might be watching, feel free to chime in. Let's chat. And I'll end on this point. So, a daily content newsletter. So, some of you might know, I left Instagram. I love making content, but I don't really like the platforms. I don't know what it is, but basically, here's the gist. I have a website and I post all of the content that I think is great on that website. And I want someone who's interested in my content to be able to subscribe to that content. I think it's asking a lot from people to be like, subscribe to the Spencer Pugh social media company. But I don't know. I in the same way like people would subscribe to a blog or a newsletter, it's the same. Like I want people who are interested in what I'm making to be notified when I make something. And I think it'd be cool if they don't have to chase me around the internet and on my various YouTube channels, social media channels. So like I'd love to do a daily content newsletter where if I create something yesterday, it automatically at 7 the next morning lands in your mailbox. And I want it to just be like say I do a couple videos yesterday and maybe I wrote a blog post. I'd want all that to be in a newsletter tomorrow morning. So, oh look, he made a video on productivity. I'm interested in that. And he wrote a little bit about something, a habit he's trying to work on. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. I just need to figure out, like I know MailChimp will do kind of automatic sending of a blog post, and I was playing around with it, but it wasn't doing videos very well. Like it wasn't showing the thumbnail of videos. So it was like you couldn't even click on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to think too hard. Maybe it just needs to be like links, a bunch of links with a little blurb or something. I don't know, but I would love it to be automated. I don't want to have to like put in more time every morning sending this out. Like, I'd want it to just go out. If I made something yesterday, it goes out. If I didn't make anything yesterday, nothing goes out, right? I was kind of doing like a weekly newsletter that way, but I was having to do it myself, which that may be what we need to do just in general. But I don't know. Give me your thoughts on that. If you're watching this, is that something you'd be interested in, or would you rather just chase me around the internet? If you're interested in my content to begin with. Yep. I've still got a good amount of notes. These are really good notes, actually. But we'll save those for next week, and hopefully I can add more next week. Maybe next week I'll show my Notion setup as well, so you guys can get an idea of how I do that. Remind me, I might forget, even though I took a note. Hopefully I won't forget, but if that's all we got. I appreciate you guys. It's been awesome per usual. I love the discussions, the back and forth. I want to give a quick shout out to Paul Detus. I think that's how you say your last name. That's how I've always said it. He shared sort of his thoughts and opinions on these live streams, and I guess my content kind of in general. Last night we were chatting on Instagram. He made a lot of good points. And I appreciate that honest feedback, and I've got to message him back because I didn't have time last night, but great points. I thought about a lot of them already. I think a lot of it just has to do with where I am in life right now, which that doesn't mean anything to anyone watching right now. So anyway, just a shout out to Paul. Appreciate it. TRN, thanks for being here. David, thanks for being here. Yeswo, thanks for chiming in earlier. If you watch the rest of this later, I'd love to have you guys back next Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. and we'll get it. Really, really, really enjoying these. Really enjoying you guys. Again, if you're listening after the fact on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts, it's Spencer Scott Pugh. If you want to subscribe there, thank you for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Getting like 30-ish listens per episode on podcasts. I'll share that with you, which is crazy. Let me know who you are. I'd love to know who's listening and if you have any opinions or thoughts. And if you're watching this on the live stream channel afterward, thank you. Subscribe here. It's possible that at some point in the future we will be going live from the live stream channel, so you won't want to miss that if I make that switch. I'll obviously announce it, but love you guys. Thanks. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. There should be a little bit more content coming out from me this week, I think. Finish Your Secrets. Actually, that might go out next week. So, hope you guys have a great week. Stay productive. Focus on the things that matter. And see you next time. Thanks so much.